Tattva, what is the holy name? And we learnt about what Prabhupada has to say about it, the glories of the holy name, the meaning of the holy name, and the effect of the holy name, and how the holy name is important for this yuga. It's a Yuga Dharma than anything else. And in the second chapter called Nama Kirtana, chanting the holy name. And there we learnt about three different styles of chanting or three ways that one can chant. And we learnt about Krishna's potency and his qualities and different types of names which can be categorized into principal names and secondary names. And also we learned about the three stages of chanting, which became the three chapters after that. The first chapter, or in the sequence, the third chapter, called Nama Aparadha, chanting on the offensive stage. We spent quite a time on this particular chapter, and we learned about the 10 offenses also in this particular chapter in detail. And the fourth chapter is Namabhasa, chanting on the clearing stage, that is overcoming the anarthas. What are the anarthas? Primarily, four types of anarthas and divisions of Namabhasa, where unintentionally chanting, chanting with little offenses, and so forth. And the last chapter we saw, maybe a few months back, was chapter 5, Shuddha Nama, the key to pure chanting. That is overcoming the stage of Namabhasa, the previous one, the clearing stage, and what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given as an instruction for us to come to this stage is to be following his instruction from Sishtastakam. We learned that one also in the fifth chapter, Amanina Manadhina. That concludes the fifth chapter. So we are going to enter into the sixth chapter, which is titled as Tips to Improve One's Chanting. And the seventh chapter is going to be frequent questions concerning chanting. And the last chapter is going to be the open secret. Well, without any delay, with a short recap, we'll enter into the sixth chapter, Practice in Chanting. The subtitle is Chanting the Panchatattva Mahamantra. The first practical tip is to chant the following mantra before chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivas Adi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This Panchatattva Mahamantra is greatly beneficial because the holy names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Gadadhara Pandita, Sri Shivas Thakura, and all the other devotees of the Lord immediately purify and spiritually elevate the chanter. This mantra blesses him with the ability to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses. For Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most generous incarnation of God, Mahavadanyaya Avatara. He does not consider the offenses committed by a fallen soul. Not that therefore we continue committing offense. That's not what it is. By chanting his name, one receives the full benefit of chanting the Maha Mantra. When Lord Chaitanya was spreading the holy name in Navadvipa by chanting and dancing, he came to the quarters of some drunkard. Through his mercy, even the drunkard, staggering out of the bars, began to chant the holy name. Lord Chaitanya is so special because he shows his mercy to the most fallen. He blesses them with the ability to start spiritual life, especially by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, We chant the Panchatattva Mahamantra before we start to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, Mahamantra. Next paragraph. It is even said that in Kali Yuga, where so many offenses are committed, the Panchatattva Mahamantra is more important than the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then why one may wonder, then why one may wonder, don't we give up the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra altogether and chant only the Panchatattva Mahamantra? The answer is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us through his personal example to chant Hare Krishna, and we simply follow his order. Next session, chanting everywhere. That's the title of the second session. The question where and when to chant Hare Krishna is answered by Srila Prabhupada. This is an extract taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. Purport. Krishna consciousness is called Sanatana Dharma or Bhagavata Dharma. Sanatana means eternal, always and everywhere. Bhagavata means pertaining to Bhagavan, the Lord. The Lord is the master of all time and all space, and therefore the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorified, and remembered everywhere in the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity to eagerly awaited by the people of the world. End of the purport. Now Maharaj continues. In other words, because Krishna is present everywhere at all times, one should glorify him at any place and time. If somehow or other one meets a great personality like Srila Prabhupada, one immediately and naturally offers prostrated obeisances and glorifies him. Namo Vishnu Padaya continues. One does not simply continue with his present occupation, thereby ignoring Srila Prabhupada. This would be an utterly improper behavior towards such a great respected person. Now, since Krishna is present everywhere, one is always altogether with him at any place and time, and thus should constantly chant his glory. Therefore, the devotee always remembers Krishna and chants his holy name, as Lord Chaitanya spoke out. Regardless, this is a translation. Regardless of time or place, one who chants the holy name, even while eating or sleeping, attains all perfection. Srila Prabhupada demonstrated by his personal example how Krishna can be glorified in all occasions. One who can constantly chant the holy names will never fall into material consciousness. Just imagine to simply chant continuously, no matter where you are. I know it is very difficult, but you should try. If not loud, then in your mind, and you will see how your whole life changes. Two more paragraphs. As a matter of course, we should not chant while talking to someone, or if by chanting we shock or annoy others. But else, we should simply chant Hare Krishna as soon as there is some free time, while going to the car, while starting the car, while driving on the highway, while taking a shower, or while accepting prasadam, whether in the underground, at home, or in the office. We should always chant. There are no strict rules and regulation how to remember the holy name. We only have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 24 hours a day. This is the instruction of Srila Prabhupada and Haridas Thakur. Then one is never in material consciousness and spares about 100% of his difficulties. Of course, we should preferably chant at a place free from distraction and disturbances. The advice to chant everywhere does not mean to chant once round in the Brahmachari ashram or on Prajalpa lounge in the temple, where the inattentive chanters gather. last line. For those who would like further evidence, let us now look into some inspiring quotes about always chanting. I'll stop there. So here, 24 by 7, we have to chant. The question is, do I have to go to work or no? Just sit and chant. But we have to use proper intelligence and balance out how much time we can give for chanting. And here it says that we should simply chant whenever we have free time, um, while going to the car, while starting the car, while driving on the highway. But please understand, do not chant um, while driving, holding to your chanting bag or having a counter. Sometimes that's also not a very good thing to do. It is best to chant with the beats. Sometimes people have the counter. At least I've not seen many doing that one in our area in St. Louis, but other places, or even few people are doing that one, having the counter count. That is, even while driving, they keep doing this one. You can. It's not nice or advisable to count that as our chanting. If you're chanting 16 rounds, I have to drive 1 hour. So while driving, I will finish my 8 rounds. So therefore, I start chanting while driving and count that. That is not very best chanting. So therefore, you can chant without beads, without the counting machine. We can continue to chant while driving, but don't consider that to be added to our committed chanting. That is not the best chanting. So please try to avoid that also, that one. But otherwise, for example, while taking shower, you don't have chanting bag and like this we don't take shower, right? So it's obvious that what Maharaj is trying to say here is chanting, dedicated number of chanting that we do should be fixed and in a much more undisturbed and a better environment where there is no more of passion is involved, in highways or even while other places. While talking is very important. While talking, sometimes it is even sometimes the senior devotees, we can see that they have a chanting bag in their hand and they converse, and you can see their lips moving. The conversation is going on, and the other person, while person is talking, yes, Mataji, yes, Prabhu, you're right. So, and then when their chance comes to speak, respond to the conversation, they stop chanting, but holding still on that middle of the beats, wherever, and they continue talking. So that is also not at all a very good thing to do. It's an offense to our chanting. So let's not develop those habits, because as I was saying earlier, we try to develop such habits. We do one time, two time, three time. It's become natural for us to continue, and we start thinking that there's no problem in doing that one. There's nothing wrong in doing that one, and that becomes our habit. So we should not be doing those things also. Okay. I'll pause, stop here, and see if there is any discussions on this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, understanding.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
So one quick question, Prabhu. So while driving, like you suppose if you have a 10, 12 hours driver, in that sense, how can we complete our chanting, Prabhu?
See, I'm not giving me as a great example, but I have to tell because this happened to me also. I've been driving in past, I've been driving from St. Louis to Dallas, Dallas to St. Louis, 10, 11 hours like this. Very frequently, I was doing that one. So I get up early in the morning, try to finish my round, and then start. That's number one option. Second one is whenever you get break between your drive, you cannot finish all your rounds. Whenever you get a break in between, quickly finish what you want to eat. Don't keep on eating until everyone eats. Then do your rounds. And then another thing is, if you have anyone who can drive with you, let them also share the driving. Let them drive. Unfortunately, in my case, that never happens. Not a complaint, but that never I have to drive. So then you can also request a person to drive, and you can continue chanting. Um, That's another option. And then the last one is when another remaining chanting is that when you chant and finish your rounds. So you have to plan your day. If you know that tomorrow is going to be a busy day for me, 10 hours, that I won't have any time to do this one, then better you plan that day accordingly, by splitting your chanting rounds, whatever the rounds you're chanting, into morning and some breaks and in the evening, night on that particular day. But while driving and chanting is not the best thing to do.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, like while you are reading, Maharaj was mentioning about like brahmacharis and something, right? Prabhu, can you please?
I was in my mind was also going to read that one more time. Let's go back there. He shows. Um, yeah. Of course, we should preferably chant at a place free from distraction and disturbances. The advice to chant everywhere does not mean to chant once round in Brahmachari ashram or on the Prajalpa launch. I can understand what this Prajalpa launch is, but trying to see not mean to chant once round in Brahmachari ashram or in Brajal where the inattentive chanters gathered. Oh, okay. It's a simple thing. It's not like Maharaj is not saying to say that not to chant in Brahmachari ashram, but what he's trying to say is if there are inattentive chanters who present, it doesn't matter whether it's a Brahmachari ashram or in the temple room, whatever, it doesn't matter, wherever, it doesn't matter. Just an example of a couple of places he's mentioning. But whenever we have an inattentive chanter, it's better to avoid that situation. That's how we have to take this one. Make sense?
Inattentive chanters means, Prabhu, like for example, if I'm an inattentive chanter, do I need to avoid like doing that around some other devotees or just like?
It's not about us. We have to, if we know when we are inattentive chanter, we better become a attentive chanter by being with those devotees who are chanting attentively. It's that's how we have to take it. But if you find someone while you're sitting in the, say you're going to the Mangalarti and there's a chanting session starts, we'll start with this question. While the chanting is going on, after the Mangalarti, chanting is going on, and you're sitting there and you see that one or two devotees, Prabhuji or someone who's just sitting and doing their mobile business, right? And then also chanting, or also a couple of devotees, as I was giving an example, demonstrating an example, chanting and talking in while chanting, is others are chanting. So Maharaj said, avoid those situations and places.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for clarification. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
It's nice Maharaj says that, or on the Prajalpa launch. Looks like, sometimes they have a particular place where devotees, I'm just coming with this, they go to a particular place where they talk about gossip. There's this particular place they go and sit and talk about gossips, right? Don't go and chant there. That's not where, because many people talk unwanted things. Don't go and chant there. Some things like that. Thank you all very much for joining this morning. And we'll meet again tomorrow morning, Krishna willing, 5 a.m. Central Time. You all have a wonderful rest of the day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.